Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zagard-tastic stream. It is I, your friend, your host, the one, the only, Zagard. And today I am joined with Andrew,
the mythology guy.
I forgot to turn on the light, so it's going to look a little weird for this one.
When do we not look weird?
That's also true. I'm just putting the mouse down there. So we just saw WandaVision episode 3.
Indeed we did, yeah.
And I'm going to put on my glasses because it's starting to look a little fuzzy for me. But... so what did you think of this episode? Just an overall opinion.
I thought, here's the thing, like I told you, I grew up with a lot of the 40s and 50s shows, so I was really enjoying the first two episodes just for that charm.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of 60s shows, so this one wasn't catching me as much. And also the whole episode is really just about the pregnancy, and it feels like they kind of keep just reusing the same jokes over and over.
A little bit, yeah, it definitely did feel like that.
So it didn't have that nostalgia factor for me, and I did spend a lot of the episode thinking, there's not going to be much to talk about this episode until we got to the last act of the episode, and then things got a little more interesting.
Yeah, this episode is definitely different. If you haven't seen it yet, hi Kodiak Tito, welcome back.
Hey, good to see you.
Anyways, yeah, so if you saw the first two episodes, they were very different than this one, in my opinion. The first two were kind of the same, where it was more about the comedy and less about the overall story.
Yeah.
Like, there were little bits and pieces that it looks like it's giving us, and I'm really waiting for the season to be done so I can just rewatch everything and be like, oh, that's what was going on there. Although I think I've pieced a good portion of it in my mind, and you mentioned it when we were watching the ending.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll be too hard for people to guess, but maybe we're completely wrong and it's exactly not what we thought it was.
Maybe.
But this episode was, like, the first 2/3 of it, there's, like, a little bit of stuff kind of going on, like, Herb's being a little weird, his neighbor.
Oh, yeah, like he's literally sawing through the wall in between their houses. Yeah, a brick wall. And a part of me wondered if that was actually, like, him, like, his consciousness or whatever trying to escape from this reality.
Maybe.
Or something, like, trying to literally break down the walls that are... if it was supposed to be symbolic or something.
Yeah.
And because, like, when they were like, it seems you've made a mistake with your hedge clipper. It seems I have. And he just keeps doing it. And I'm just like, I think that's something there.
I think it was, like, a little bit of something about that and a bit of just... kind of like that 60s kind of comedy thing where it's just like, yep, I have, and they just keep
or who knows, maybe it could just be an error in the reality, like in that Rick and Morty episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah,
like,
that
guy's
makes a lot
putting
of
a bun between two hot dogs.
What? I've seen people do that. It was... That was a little thing, and then, like, the rest, and then for a big portion of the episode, it's just, oh, she's pregnant, and so her powers are kind of going whack, and weird stuff is happening. It's raining, but it's also snowed, and then the pictures are flying everywhere, and the fireplace...
Yeah, I still can't put together why it started raining in the house.
It's because her water broke.
Oh, it probably just affected her powers.
Yeah.
I thought that I've been thinking for, like, the whole time since then, what was that symbolic of?
Yeah, it was just her water breaking.
Like, her pregnancy is affecting her powers. Yeah, like, she accidentally, like, summons a stork. She starts flipping all the pictures, and, like, all this crazy shit starts happening.
And that's pretty normal for, like, a sci-fi, fantasy sort of comedy show. But then it starts getting a little, like, her friend, what was her friend's name?
Geraldine?
Yeah, Geraldine shows up, and she walks into her house, and she starts telling her story, and you're like, oh, it's just gonna be one of those, like, oh, she's trying to keep her from seeing the stork, she's trying to keep her from seeing the stork.
Yeah, it's that classic setup. don't look at the thing behind you, and we'll just keep talking.
Yeah, it was, like, there were, like, little things, like, and then, so, what's his name? Vision goes to run and get the doctor, but and who's supposed to be going on a vacation this afternoon to the Bermuda Triangle. Really? You guys think we wouldn't see that little thing?
I don't know.
And then as soon as they're about to leave, all of a sudden his car stops working. It's like, that was a little...
There's no way to get out.
Yeah, there was, like, another little thing.
Idea. Yeah, his car breaks down because you can't leave this
literally
reality.
the guy...
And he literally says later, I don't think we'll be leaving after all. You know, small town, it's hard to escape.
And, yeah, they say that to Vision. Vision's like, oh, I forgot. There was also that part where Vision...
Yeah, the part where he thinks something's wrong.
Yeah, he's like, there's something wrong with this, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden just blinks to, like, 30 seconds before that. and he says something completely different.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what happened in the last episode, how she rewound. This time they, instead of showing us straight up rewind, it just cuts to earlier.
Yeah, which was more 60s like.
Yeah, kind of.
They didn't really do cuts in the 50s. Also, the house is completely different this time.
Yeah, it's a 60s house now. 60s houses always have that stairway, like, without any sides that leads up to the next floor. And you can see
through the stairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no sides, it's just the stairway. It's not on the side of the wall. It comes down right into the middle of the room and everything.
What was the other thing? And then she's just using her powers to clean up. But then all of a sudden, Vision starts talking to, what's their names? Agnes and Herb, the next door neighbor, and because they're going. By the way, they were whispering the loudest I've ever heard two people.
They were in the whisper zone from Monk.
Oh yeah, the whisper zone.
If you've seen Monk, you probably know it.
Or I'm pretty sure that's a thing in a lot of government.
Well,
buildings.
Regardless.
But yeah, they're whispering, and Vision's like, "What are you guys talking about?" It's like, Geraldine, she's not from. She doesn't have a house.
She's not from around here, and we don't take kindly. I know, I'm just joking.
I know, he's joking. But they're like, she doesn't have a husband or kids or anything. And she
doesn't have a house either. I think that's supposed to be, like, I didn't put it together right away, but I think it's because, Sword literally sent her in. Like, she wasn't part of the reality that Wanda created. I think, the thing is, she doesn't have a house. Like, Wanda created, things for everyone to live in.
I grew up watching Monk, if you're talking about the detective show. Yes, we are talking about that.
Yeah, we are talking about that.
Well, for that 1 second.
Though, to be fair, though, it makes me wonder a little more, since Wanda didn't create this world with a place for Geraldine, how does she not know that Geraldine doesn't belong here? Unless she gets so lost in her own world she forgets sometimes.
I think that is what's happening, but subconsciously she still knows what's going on, because clearly she can affect stuff, like when she went, no, and then it rewinded, and this time it was getting serious, and she just rewound it.
Yeah.
My big question is Vision actually alive again, or is he part of the
just
world
in this
simulation?
Reality?
Because they show.
So did she actually have kids? I don't.
Well, because they show that he has scenes A by himself, and B he's noticing the problems too.
He has a mind of his own, clearly. So...
And they just kind of admitted that every other person here is a person. The question is, did she bring them here? Or did they accidentally wander here, or were they all sent by
Maybe
Sword?
He is alive, but he can only be alive here. Maybe that's the thing.
And we did notice
maybe
that
she brought his consciousness here or something.
And since we can see it in color, we can finally see he has the stone.
He has the soul stone, which is really weird. Like, that confuses the hell out of me, but maybe it's just an illusion. I don't know. She gives birth to twins in this, just like twins. In the comics.
Just two boys.
Two
Billy
kiddos.
and Tommy.
Yep. It feels like that's been kind of a theme in the first episode, because in the first episode, you remember when, the guy starts choking and they start freaking out. Right before that, they said, "Why don't you have children?" Yeah. And then it led into that.
I think that might be a theme, but that's also kind of like a thing in, I think it was supposed to be like the 50s, how they're like, you're supposed to get married and then have two kids.
Or it could have just been they're asking too many questions, but I felt like even if that wasn't a big thing, they were kind of just foreshadowing and dropping a lot of hints. Also in episode 2, I remember at the meeting with all the women, they were talking about, we have to do this for the children.
Yeah, for the children.
For the children.
That's true, they do keep mentioning children.
And then shortly after that, they went into the weird scene in that where the woman cuts herself and everything.
And then you see the red blood and the black and white.
I think the reason things keep popping up, did we mention this already, is because Wanda's power is red?
I don't think we mentioned that about the powers being red. No, but that does make a lot of sense.
That's the red blinking light, the red helicopter, the red blood, in the first 2 episodes.
And Vision is kind of
I think
red.
It might have had something to do with, because literally Wanda's powers are always red, and it might be just, something to do with that.
Something I just noticed about this episode, they're having boys are usually associated with blue, and if you look at
you're right, and there was a lot of blue in this episode.
Her friend Geraldine, her whole
she's
outfit
got
is
blue like eyeliner and eyeshadow. I'm a guy. I don't know how this works.
Well, it's like, you know,
yeah.
If you look at some of the older ads in the 60s, that's what all the girls did have. That. But it's like,
eyeshadow,
but she's also wearing
blue. Vision's wearing blue. His eyes are impossibly blue in this episode, by the way.
And so are some of the other people. And then like they're having 2 boys which are blue. And when she tries using her powers with the red smoke on the store,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, the red doesn't work, just the smoke. But
it's I don't know if that was supposed to be because she's pregnant and her powers are messed up, or I don't know if there's some symbolism going on.
Maybe
there
maybe there might not be. I was just thinking that I just noticed that the red wasn't working, but the blue was. And then of course they have this scene where Herb, the neighbor with Agnes, starts telling Vision, you know, the reason why they're all here, and he starts going into something, and Agnes is like, you can't talk about it. She's like, well, I better get out of here.
Yeah, but then there's no laugh track, which you pointed out.
Claire noticed that, actually.
Oh, yeah, Claire noticed
Claire's not here, by the way. She's working out right now.
She's busy with her plans for world domination.
Maybe the reason the kid subject keeps popping up is because they may be foreshadowing something relating to
their childhood. Because I remember her and Pietro were taken as kids. That's actually a good point, because she brings up Pietro in this episode. And when she brought him up, I was like, oh, finally, we're going to address him for once. Years. My God.
Yeah, that was a little late coming. But they finally addressed Pietro and how he got killed. And then, of course,
that's a nice moment. I like seeing her talk about her brother. God damn, there's I want to hear more about that, and I hope we see him in this show in some way.
I think it makes sense for them to talk about it now, because before this, it was every other movie. She wasn't the focus.
Yeah, and now this she is the focus. So, and since this show is really mainly about her, like, she's the main star. Vision is awesome too, but I think she's the mainest character. So if they didn't address Pietro, I would have just been really upset.
And it's
like, you can't have a whole show about Wanda and not say anything about her twin brother.
Yeah. And one thing I did realize was they were like, we want them to both be healthy Americans. I'm like, well, neither of you are American.
Yeah.
She was born in Sokovia, and he was made in Korea.
Did Tony build him in Korea?
Well, what's his name?
You're talking about the body.
Yeah, Vision was making him in Korea, and then they took the cradle.
Ultron was making him.
Yeah, Ultron, that's right, was building him. And then they finished him at Stark Tower, which was in New York. And I was just thinking
of Jarvis.
Well, Jarvis was built in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I guess...
he's multinational.
I guess he's Korean-American, but the point is, he's not a human, so it doesn't matter.
It is interesting that Wanda doesn't have an accent anymore.
Well, you notice they've been deleting that every movie since then. Like, she had it really thick in Age of Ultron, then literally the next film, it's like slightly less, and by now she just doesn't have it, because the actress,
She still had one in Endgame, though, when she came in and said, you took everything.
I just watched it. She didn't.
I thought she did.
It's you probably were thinking about her accent, so you applied it, but she really.
Okay, well, I'll rewatch.
By Endgame, Infinity War.
Well, another reason to watch Endgame again.
Yeah, by Infinity War
watches
and
the
Endgame,
whole movie just to hear if she has an accent in that.
And by now, they 100% dropped it. She's just she basically is just American.
Well, it's because it's a red-blooded American show.
That's true. It would be really funny if by the end of the season she just has her full accent back.
What if they step out of the reality and it's right back to the Sokovian accent?
Oh god, that would be really jarring for my ears. Like, I'd be like, okay, but also. Anyways, she's telling her friend about Pietro, and then all of a sudden her friend just goes, he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? And everything starts getting weird from there. She starts getting very like aggressive and territorial, and like, you should leave.
How do you know that? What's that around your neck? She's got a sword somewhere.
Yeah, she's got this little pendant.
She's clearly working for Sword, as was, I'm sure, the beekeeper in the last episode. Because, as you pointed out, that he had a sword symbol too.
Something I didn't notice until I started watching things is there are little things in each episode that have the Sword logo. Like at the end of the very first one, the guy who's watching them on the TV. If you look on the side of the TV, it has a Sword logo. And then at the end of the second one, when the beekeeper guy comes out, and some people were thinking that's AIM, and I'll explain that in a second.
Yeah, but because AIM has beekeeper.
Yeah, well, they have people who wear the beekeeper suits, so they were just called the beekeepers. Yeah. But he had the Sword logo on his back, so I'm going to say, I'm like 95% sure this is Sword that's involved. But they did another Hydra reference. They were
with the soap. Yeah, but there's like AIM, Sword, Hydra references, like... We know Sword is involved. That's like, there's no denying that at this point.
I'm wondering though, is Sword its own thing, or is it like Hydra pretending to be a new thing?
Like with Shield.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe it's AIM pretending to be a new thing. I don't know.
I think it would. Well, it would make sense if it was either, because in the comics originally, I know that they didn't say this, that Strucker's dead and he was just part of Hydra, but originally he was part of Hydra, and then he made AIM, and then in this...
Strucker started AIM?
Well, he was one of the people who started AIM.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it was just supposed to be scientists.
Well, that's creepy. And was it Hydra that took Wanda and Pietro?
Yes.
It was Hydra.
And Strucker was the person who gave them their powers.
One of the things is, like, one thing I've been thinking is, it's still possible that Hydra's not involved at all because of a couple of things. You remember you said the blinking light on the Stark thing? That could just be her memory of the bomb, because she did create... Yeah. I do think she created this reality. And that Hydra subliminal messaging could just be, again, her, like, PTSD. Yeah, because she was taken by Hydra and experimented on.
Well, I think they said that they volunteered because they wanted to get rid of
regardless, she has memories.
Yeah, she has memories of Hydra.
It could be stuff like those could just be her memories shining through.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm like, it's possible for them to be involved, but that's not one of the things I'm really
that's
right
that's
now.
Like at most 5%. I'm thinking maybe the commercials are telling us something. But...
And I never thought of the whole beekeeper guy possibly being AIM. I doubt it, because Sword is so obviously involved. It would be kind of cluttered to also have AIM be involved. Well, is one guy going to be two companies? I kind of want it though, because I want AIM to be more of a thing in the MCU, because I want MODOK.
I don't think they're going to do MODOK.
I want him. Put him in the Loki show. He'll fit right in.
He would fit, maybe. And this made, and I think I told you about this in between last week and this week, but this makes me wonder, because they said that WandaVision will lead into Spider-Man, and one of the theories is because they recently released some footage and a couple images from the new Spider-Man film, and one of them shows like a bunch of posters, and some of the posters say like, this person missing. And one of the theories is that maybe Wanda took them and that's why they're missing. I don't think so.
Maybe she brought them into this reality.
Yeah, that's I don't think so, but we'll keep it like a thumbtack, like up in the corner, sort of speak.
I feel like this show is literally made to spurn 1,000 theories.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's good. It makes it something to talk about.
So long as you have a plan. Don't just come up with it on the fly, like certain other people do.
I definitely think they have a plan, because Kevin Feige would not let this show just go, well, this episode we're gonna have them do a cook-off.
Yeah, and have it be something interesting. Don't pull a Lost.
It's definitely, so far, it looks like it's something interesting.
Yeah, like, and, hopefully.
I'm 100% certain they have a plan, just because Kevin Feige has said so many times, like, I have this plan that I want to do for the Marvel Universe, and this is part of his apparently 5-year plan that ends next year.
So far, their plans have gone well. So Marvel has my trust at this point. Like, freaking Game of Thrones and Star Wars threw that shit away. Star Wars is gaining it back
with what's his name, Jon Favreau's plan.
Jon Favreau coming in and making a good plan, but they're still earning it. Game of Thrones just fell into the goddamn sewer grate, and I really hope George R.R. Martin can fix that in the books. But Marvel has my trust. They haven't let me down in quite a while.
And the only times they've ever let us down, it was just like, well, that wasn't as good
It was just small stuff, really.
Yeah, it was like
I thought the way they killed off Quicksilver was a little dumb, considering the man with super speed gets shot to death. That doesn't make any sense. But
yeah, there were a lot of ways you could.
Yeah, there's...
but we have to live with it.
But it's not. There was never a whole Marvel movie where it's like, well, that was just garbage.
Yeah, none of them. I know some people don't like some of them.
The one that disappointed me the most was Captain Marvel, but I don't hate that movie. I was just like, oh, that was just okay. That was my thought coming out.
I watched it twice, and both times I was like, yeah, I like it enough.
Yeah, but I haven't hated any of the MCU movies, so that's kind of impressive.
Yeah,
some of them are just underwhelming.
What's the other thing? So of course we talked about the sword and how it keeps showing up, and then of course Wanda, she's like, you should leave, and she's like, no, what do you mean, Wanda? And then literally as the Vision walks in, it's like, what happened to Geraldine? Well, she had to go. She was very busy. And he clearly didn't see Geraldine leave because he was standing in front.
Yeah, he was.
And then the next scene
by the
we
front
see,
door.
It shows like a normal kind of field, completely in color, darkened.
Yeah, it said like Westview or something.
Yeah, we saw the town, the sign of the town, the enter, like you are now entering, and it says Westview, and you just see like this ripple on the side. And then all of a sudden, you see someone fly out, and it's Geraldine. And then
literally got kicked out of that reality.
Yeah, and then immediately you just see a bunch of trucks and a helicopter just swarm on her.
It's Sword. It's obviously Sword. Like they sent her in, and she failed.
Yeah, and if you looked in the background, you can actually see like in anytime there's like a sci-fi thing.
My nose itches so much. I don't know.
Sorry, it might be my cats. I didn't put them upstairs this time, and I didn't vacuum, but once we're done, we can leave the windows open. I think I might start watching the show now. Yeah, I would say episode 3 is pretty good. You don't even have to watch episode 1 and 2 that much, but it might be
You don't have to like all 3 of these episodes, so far as we know, you don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, you really
for
don't
like
have
80%. But who knows? Maybe at the end it'll be like, did you notice all these? Oh shit! Now I have to go look.
Yeah, I think so if you want to start watching now would be a good idea, because I'm actually like really excited for the next episode. Like, what are we gonna find out? Are they gonna still
like with my mindset? I still like, if I wasn't watching these with you, I would have let the whole thing finish and then binge it all. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing this a lot. Like,
no,
I'm just telling you what I would have done.
Andrew
time.
prefers binging. And
I like to binge seasons.
And
yeah,
the other thing about this show is like
nobody
people are talking about it, but it's not like with Star Wars or anything where and everybody will talk about it.
Yeah.
This is getting really
I don't think people are going to spoil this for you. Unless you're here listening to us spoil it.
Yeah, but I also put in the title, literally the first word in brackets is spoilers in all caps, so
yeah.
At least I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, well.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon enough. But, what was I talking about? The WandaVision thing. So, and if you look in the background when they're ending the episode after you see the helicopters and stuff, you can see, you know how like Stranger Things shows like that where there's like people who are researching something.
Yeah.
They have like those white tents. Oh, like in the first Thor.
Yeah. Like it's just because it's a temporary research space.
Yeah, you can see those in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this is definitely Sword. Either A, Sword is going in to try and figure out what's happening, and they're trying to take control because they're clearly the villains.
Well, we don't know if they're the villains.
That's
they might be trying to get Wanda out of there.
That's true. We did hear that guy in the last episode.
Yeah, and that guy who was like, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Like, it's possible that, like, we don't know for a fact if Sword is the villain or not. Like,
that's true.
What are they like in the comics? I haven't read a ton about them. I think they like deal with. Aren't they like a division similar to S.H.I.E.L.D. who deals with like space threats or something?
Yeah, but I think they're like a more aggressive version of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
I think Hammer is a little more evil.
Yeah.
They had Hammer in Iron Man too.
Yeah, that kind of ruined.
They could still do more with it.
They could do more with it. Honestly, if it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra, I don't really know because those two are clearly like good and bad sort of things, and then everything else.
AIM is evil. That's another thing.
Yeah, well, they're usually evil. Sometimes, like, some of their people there are like, we weren't trying to do evil things, but there's a guy who's pulling strings.
Yeah, there's always a giant mad scientist running AIM.
Yeah.
Usually MODOK.
Most organizations...
I don't care about spoilers, then you've come to the right place.
It's a good thing you came here, Kodiak. Most of the time, pretty much all organizations in Marvel are evil, except for S.H.I.E.L.D. is usually good.
Yeah.
I will say usually because there have been times where even...
Except when it's Hydra.
Yeah, except for when it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. So, basically, if it's not S.H.I.E.L.D., just assume they're the bad guys until you get different answers. That's my kind of mental thing with Hydra. And so my first theory is either Wanda did this and they're trying to infiltrate it. They got Wanda to do it, and they have agents in there to kind of
I do
things.
wonder, though, if they got Wanda to do it, why would they have a guy in a beekeeper suit so obviously coming in and making things... And, like, because that's not very stealthy. But here's the thing, Geraldine has, maybe they were trying two different things at once, because Geraldine's been there since before the Beekeeper showed up.
Yeah, since the beginning of episode.
She was in like the middle of episode 2. So it's not like Beekeeper was number 1 failed attempt and then Geraldine got sent in.
Yeah.
So I do really want, maybe the Beekeeper guy is the guy, maybe you're right, maybe Sword is evil. Maybe Geraldine is their plant. And the Beekeeper guy, like, is a rogue agent who came in and tried to shut it down or some shit.
That makes a lot of sense. One of the things that my brain just kind of thought when we started talking about this is the whole thing with the kids. Like you said, something's revolving around the kids. Maybe they're trying to get Wanda to either make versions of herself and Vision that have both their powers with her powers.
Yeah, because her kids are powerful. One of them is Wiccan, I believe.
I don't know enough about her kids because
I know one of them has some connection to Mephisto, the Marvel Devil or something.
Yeah,
and that could very easily tie into the next Doctor Strange film.
Yeah, because this is supposed to tie into Spider-Man, which is supposed to tie into Doctor Strange.
Be a lot of magical shit going on.
Yes, and two things. Well, first of all, I think that maybe they're trying to get her kids, or they're trying to get her and use her powers for, or her kids' powers for something. Maybe they're trying to get the version of Wanda.
It's possible they were trying to influence her to have kids with Mr. Hart going, "Why don't you have children?"
And then the children.
Yeah, maybe they were maybe she created this reality and they actually planted ideas into it to try to get her to have kids, which they want to take now. Like, it's like maybe Geraldine was supposed to take the kids.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because, like, she was like, "Oh, I'll take over rocking duty. You take a break." She could have easily just
stolen a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that either she's just happened to do this and they're trying to get involved, or they're trying to push her towards some agenda of theirs where they can get a sample of her powers or Vision's powers.
Or maybe it's not Sword. Maybe it's Jason Todd.
Oh, it's Jason Todd.
It's actually
DC
Jason
universe.
Todd, you know, because it's always freaking Jason Todd.
That's kind of annoying.
Like, seriously, DC has used that twist with like 4 different characters, and they all turned out to be Jason Todd.
It's Jason Todd
So
1 and Jason Todd 2.
Who is the Red Hood? It's Jason Todd. Who's the Arkham Knight? It's Jason Todd. In the Injustice 2 comics, who is pretending to be Batman? It's Jason Todd. In Hush, who is Hush? Oh, it might actually be Jason Todd, but it turns out it isn't, but we're still gonna throw that in there just because we love using this twist so much. Jason Todd! You're all Jason Todd! Anyway, that's completely unrelated.
I think this universe broke him a bit. What was the other thing? I was gonna say something. Slipped my mind. Something about WandaVision, and it's all a dream.
Yeah, no. It all turns out to be a dream.
I don't think so.
It's limbo. They're dead. They're already dead.
I'm still wondering: is Vision alive? Is he only alive in this reality? I need to know. I need to know.
It's possible here, given how Wanda's acting. A part of me does think like the only reason she would like be this desperate to keep the illusion up would be if like Vision can only live in this reality. Yeah. Like she would lose him again if things dropped.
Maybe by the end of the season, he'll just like find out everything, and then it'll go to how his body looked at the end of Infinity.
Yeah, like the gray and everything.
Yeah, maybe he'll just go gray and die.
I think there will be at least one either we'll see that or he'll be talking to her and he'll do that thing sometimes shows me where it just flashes to him like that and then unflashes.
Oh, that would make sense. Kind of like in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Or not The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Like you can think.
Yeah. There was something else I had on my mind, but I can't get any more. Well, that's what are your? Do you have any other theories about?
I think I got them all out. I mean, like we pumped out a lot of theories here.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get to see
one of them
we actually get to see some more of Pietro in the future.
I really want to see Pietro at least once.
You know, it'd be funny if it turns out that voice turns out to be Pietro.
Oh, that would be interesting. It's him in the beekeeper suit.
Oh.
I mean, why did they keep that person's identity secret? I don't know.
I know that there are some people who figured out who the actor is by freezing the frame and getting rid of the silhouette of his head, and you can figure it out from the shape of his face.
I'm not going to look at that.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at it, but honestly, knowing who the actor is tells us nothing. So
unless it's Pietro.
From what I remember them saying that, but I didn't remember who the actor for Pietro was off the top of my head either. So, looks like he's getting a scam call. And that means we're getting called to end the stream soon. Do you guys have any theories, suggestions, comments? I'm going to be putting this video up either later today or tomorrow at 12 on YouTube if you want to talk about it some more there. I will be looking through the comments when I get them. And, Andrew, since you're here again, I know most people know, but where can they find you?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, The Mythology Guy, or on TikTok, The Mythology Guy, or on Instagram at Tartarus Games.
And don't forget, we do have a Discord. I will be putting it in the doobly-doo down below. Follow that. You can talk to us about your theories. You can talk to Andrew about his mythology stuff or his card game at any time. Just post a message there. If he doesn't see it, I will, and I'll let him know. And we'll probably talk about it in the next stream, or he can just message you directly. There was one person who did ask in the Discord, how's the game going? But I think you answered that since then. So
I'll try to keep up with the Discord.
The best answer we can give you right now is it's going well. No problems that we can speak to at this moment. Outside of, everything. Well, I hope you all had a wonderful morning, noon, or night, whatever time it is for you. Welcome again to the Dragon's Den, where we talk about stuff like WandaVision, games, other stuff. I hope you liked my background. It was wonderful having each and every one of you there. Please like and subscribe if you can, and we'll see you all in the next one. Hey everyone, Zagard here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me out. If you have any thoughts or theories about WandaVision Episode 3, please comment down below, and I might mention it in the next episode. Don't forget, if you ever want to comment live during a stream, you can go to my Twitch channel. If you want to talk to me or the Mythology Guy, just join my Discord. We have a chat there just for your questions. Link to both of those will be in the description. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I will see you in the next one.